another episode. Welcome to this other episode of Tough Love Thursdays, which is our brand new segment here that I'm hosting every week live in our Facebook community. I'm just going to test here and make sure that we are in fact live, making sure that we are here. There we are, connecting with all of you. So let me know in the comments below if you're here. Love to hear from all of you. I'm going to keep an eye on those comments here. And we're going to get into it today with another really powerful tough love truth for all of you. This is a very exciting brand new segment. I did the first one last week and it was a doozy, right? If you haven't listened to that, go ahead and listen to it, whether you're here in our Facebook community or you're listening to this replay on the podcast. Come and listen to last week. And this week will be no different. I'm really going to be sharing with you every week in quick 10-minute or less snippet videos here, these tough love truths that are really in an effort to help you open your mind and support you in bringing awareness into the subconscious blocks and the real facts of what is underlying root causes that are keeping you stuck on the sugar roller coaster year after year. So what is it today? What's the tough love I have to share with you today? I actually have some props for today's experience. And here it is, okay? One of the things that I see so many of you doing in making this mistake is really downplaying how much sugar you're actually eating. So I'm going to give it to you straight here. You are definitely eating more sugar than you think you are, okay? This is a big bomb to drop, right? That many of you are sitting there thinking, maybe it's not that bad. Right? I'm not actually eating as much sugar as I think I am. I don't have a problem with sugar, or I don't have a sweet tooth. Therefore, I am not eating much sugar. And maybe some of you are aware of how much sugar you're eating, which is great. But I do know that with my clients, when they come and join my programs, the first thing we do is really address this issue of understanding that you are eating way more sugar than you think you are. The average American Canadian is eating hundreds of grams of sugar a day. And the sad truth is probably not even knowing that. So there's three things that I want to bring you aware of here. Three tough truths here in this is understanding number one. Okay, one of the reasons that you are eating way more than you think you are is because sugar is actually hiding in over 90% of our grocery store. Over 90% of our grocery store products have hidden sugars, hidden in the way that you don't know what they're called or how to find them on the label, or they're mislabeled. And we just blindly purchase products thinking they're healthy, but actually they're loaded with sugar. And the sad truth here is that the food industry now uses somewhere over 300 different names for sugar. There's different types of sugar that they've created to confuse you, right? Packages don't usually just say cane sugar anymore. Right? They say maltose and molasses and agave and dextrose, right? All these fancy names that most don't even know. Now, side note, if you do want to learn and get a cheat sheet for all these names of sugar that you can take with you next time you go to the grocery store, I actually have a many names for sugar cheat sheet. That's a free download on my website. You can come and find that at danielledane.com. But this is a really, really, really big problem. And I actually even have some samples here for you with how easy this is to really not know that you're overdosing on sugar. This is something that this organic yogurt, if you're just listening to this and you're not on video, I am holding up an organic vanilla yogurt, right? It looks so healthy, yet one serving has 21 grams of sugar, which is almost as much as in a Coca-Cola. For breakfast, in your yogurt. There's also granola, soup stock, salad dressings, granola bars, obviously, right? Salsa, so many different places that sugar is actually hiding in the grocery store. So number one, this is one of the reasons why we're eating more than we think, because when we think we're just eating sugar, we only think to count the ice cream and the cookies and the sweet stuff that we know is sugar. But all the hidden stuff, I would argue, is almost more of a problem because we're mindlessly eating it without knowing that we're actually ingesting sugar. Number two is most of y'all, we don't use that word up here in Canada, but For any of you in the States, that one was for you. Y'all don't actually know what sugar is. You don't actually know what sugar is. This was something that I felt trapped to in the beginning of my journey as well, and not realizing, right, these 300 different names of sugar, and not realizing that the food industry knows how to trick you into thinking certain sweeteners are healthy for you. So things like maple syrup, coconut sugar, agave, honey, these are all sugar. These are still sugar. I actually have agave here. It's actually one of the worst things. Please ignore agave. I have a YouTube video on this that has the most views of all my YouTube videos talking about agave. You're going to want to listen to that because it is not all it's cracked up to be, and it is something you should absolutely avoid at all costs. But learning what sugar actually is. So agave, maple syrup, corn syrup, any flour. So this is something that people don't realize. Chips are sugar. White bread and pastries are sugar. Flour is sugar. And when I say sugar, I mean, when you put it in your body, it is very rapidly converted into glucose and fructose in the body and is pretty much already in that form. So the glycemic load is the same as having a teaspoon of sugar. So you probably don't even know what sugar actually is, and you're fooling yourself as you're putting that scoop of honey in your tea every morning, or you're having that maple syrup drizzled on your fruit at the end of the night, right? That is huge sugar hits. Number 3, really important one of the reasons why you are really eating more sugar than you think is that your mind actually is playing tricks on you. You actually don't want your problem with sugar to be as bad as it is, right? You think maybe I don't really have that much of a problem. Once in a while I eat something sweet, but I'm not actually overdoing it. I'm not actually eating that much, right? And your mind actually wants you, your subconscious mind actually wants you to think you are eating less than you actually are. Okay, so there is this huge mental block. And I know this because in the first week of every single one of my programs, I have all of the women track their sugar intake. And every single one of them, every single time, is shocked at how much they're actually consuming. So track your sugar intake. Okay, this is absolutely vital. This is your homework. And for reference, the baseline that we have, which I don't fully agree with, but at least it's some sort of number that most people can aim for, is the World Health Organization says that women should have no more than a maximum of 24 grams of sugar per day, which is 6 teaspoons, and men 36 grams, which is about 9 teaspoons. So remember this yogurt, 21 grams in one serving of yogurt was a daily safe amount of sugar for an adult woman. Now, of course, you're not just getting sugar in yogurt, right? This is how easy it is to overdose on sugar. So start tracking your sugar intake and really start becoming more aware and honest, right? Tough Love Thursdays here, right? Get tough love with yourself and face the truth of how much sugar you are actually eating, right? And when you do that and you have to face that truth, then it's your responsibility and your choice ultimately to do something about it. So there you have it, another episode here. I hope that this one landed. Would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your takeaways. Does this resonate with you? Let me know below. And I can't wait to see you next week for another Tough Love Thursday.